think
Or you never know.
Yeah, I think they're gonna go in there and spar. I don't think it's gonna be you trying to kill me or I'm trying to kill you. You know, I think it's let's go in here and make this money. You know, it's more of a business tactic than anything.
100%.
And he went from Disney to, you know, getting paid what I told you. World champions that have dedicated their whole life to this sport, they will never get paid. Not even a percentage of what he's making.
Yeah.
Or are you about it because it's promoting the sport of boxing?
Nah, it don't bother me because if I was in that position, I'd be happy. I always look at it like that. Like if I was in that position, I'd be happy making all these millions of dollars. You know, it don't count. It's just for show. I mean, it's a win-win.
Terence Crawford reacted to Gervonta Davis facing Jake Paul by calling it a business move rather than a genuine fight. He pointed out the huge weight gap between a 135-pounder and a 200-pounder, saying it turns the event into more of an exhibition than a real competition. According to Crawford, the matchup is purely for entertainment and money, not for boxing legacy, though he admits Jake's size and power and Tank's explosiveness will make it interesting to watch.
I didn't like that one.
Jake too big for Tank, you know? In reality, he's way too big for Tank. Like, Tank is very talented, punch hard, explosive, a whole 9 yards, but...
Yeah, because some people say Jake's fight's rigged. He's, like, suing people now that say they're rigged. You see that? But how could they rig it before? Because, like, what if they just say, oh, we're going to go soft on each other, and then Tank just fucking throws it right at Jake?
Jake can punch with that right hand. Like, I seen him, you know what I mean, up close in person. Like, dude is big. He's not as slow as people think he is, and he can punch. You know, that's why a lot of people know, like, there was times where, you know, him and Tyson, you know, was in the ring, and he could have, like, laid it on Tyson, but he kind of, like, held back.
You could tell.
And that's the same with Tyson. Like, Tyson could have caught Jake with something, and he just like, you know, so you can see it.
If you had to choose someone to win that fight, who do you think wins?
Honestly, I think Jake by youth.
Really?
Yeah.
Emiliano Vargas spoke candidly about the current state of boxing, explaining how figures like Jake Paul have transformed the sport. He said Jake understood early on that boxing today is less about skill and legacy and more about attention, driven by fan excitement, social media buzz, and entertainment value. Vargas called it unfair that true champions who've dedicated their lives to mastering the craft and fighting elite opponents often earn far less than Jake, whose fame comes from spectacle and popularity. While he admits Jake cleverly figured out the formula, create drama, build hype, and own the spotlight, Vargas expressed both admiration and disappointment, noting that Jake's success highlights how boxing has shifted from pure sport to big business.
Right. Explain this to me, not in basketball terms, just such a funny internet comment, but explain this to me like a third grader. What is an exhibition fight?
I don't even know, bro. I'm gonna be real with you. All I know is that Jake is making, God damn.
But when they say
look, God bless Jake, bro, because this is what he figured out. He figured out this. He figured out boxing is all about attention.
100%.
And he went from Disney to, you know, getting paid what I told you. World champions that have dedicated their whole life to this sport, they will never get paid. Not even a percentage of what he's making.
Yeah.
But because attention brings dollars. It doesn't matter if it's a podcast, if it's a movie premiere, if it's boxing. If there's no attention on it, you're not going to make no money from it.
This is like the WNBA conversation. That's why they don't make the money, because they don't have the attention.
No, for sure. I was at the WNBA yesterday, and that shit was lit, bro.
It was lit?
I was chopping it up with Floyd was there.
It was good?
Like, people they won by like I think 1 or 2 points. But I was standing up and I was jumping, you know, it's the finals though.
Yeah.
It's the finals. So all that aside, I just feel like Gervonta could crack though, bro.
Oh, of
Gervonta
course.
could crack. I mean,
so this is what I want.
He's sparred light heavyweights and heavyweights before. Like, this ain't nothing new.
Even taller guys.
For sure.
Yeah, so what I really want to ask you in regards to that fight is, like, obviously someone like Gervonta is not, in his mind, he's not going to go out there and look stupid, no matter how it goes.
Right. No, he's not.
But that's what when I see it's an exhibition fight, I'm like, what does that mean?
And you can still get knocked out. You know, I feel like that means there's not going to be no winner.
No effect on the record.
Yeah, that's exactly what it means. But you could get knocked out.
So you don't think, because like, you know, the beef now is like, this shit's the WWE. That's what people say about boxing.
I mean,
Showbiz the adult emphasized that Gervonta Davis isn't taking Jake Paul lightly, despite the fight being labeled an exhibition. He explained that Tank views this as a chance to showcase his dominance on a global stage. If he beats Jake decisively, his fame will soar far beyond traditional boxing fans. That's why Tank's coach has already confirmed he's training, as if it were a world title bout. Showbiz noted that for Tank, losing isn't an option. The internet never forgets, and one poor showing against a YouTuber turned boxer could tarnish his career permanently. Even without a championship or official record at stake, Tank understands the real weight of this fight. He's determined to prove the clear difference between a lifelong professional fighter and a self-made celebrity boxer.
You mean to tell me you start hitting Jake with some shit, he ain't gonna fight back? He said, fat. But he had you on a hit list before this fight even happened. So his mental is on you. So you have to take him serious.
What Tank Davis doesn't know he's risking is crazy. I hope he knows now. The fan base doesn't know what Tank's risking. Y'all just seeing it as WWE shit. That Jake Paul is an opportunist, and that Jake Paul is going to try to knock him out. He's going to try to knock him out, do this, cross his arms. He's going to try to do that shit. If he hits Tank and Tank has Bambi legs, that goes viral. Jake Paul gave Tank Bambi legs. He'll get trolled so much, Tank may retire. Tank got to knock that guy out, and y'all don't realize it. And regardless of the reality of it being an exhibition, that shit, the sight of that is going to go viral. Tank going to have to take him seriously and knock his ass out, bro.
Danny Garcia and several other analysts see the upcoming fight as more of an entertainment spectacle than a true sporting contest. They acknowledge it's not a matchup between equals, but rather a business-driven event created to attract attention and generate huge revenue. Still, they admit the curiosity surrounding it is powerful. Fans are eager to see how a smaller, explosive fighter like Tank would fare against a much larger but less skilled opponent like Jake Paul. That intrigue keeps the audience hooked. Some analysts also believe this could be one of Tank's final big appearances before retirement, suggesting he might use the exhibition to secure a massive payday and exit the sport on top financially. While the fight may not define his legacy in boxing, it will undoubtedly elevate his brand and prove to be a smart business decision, even if it lacks true competitive meaning.
I think Tank Davis, I have a feeling, bro, Tank Davis is going to retire after this fight. Sometimes when you get a big payday like that against a fight like Jake Paul, like you as a professional boxer, does that shit bother you, or are you about it because it's promoting the sport of boxing?
No, it don't bother me because if I was in that position, I'd be happy. I always look at it like that. Like if I was in that position, I'd be happy making all these millions of dollars. You know, it don't count. It's just for show. I mean, it's a win-win. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the prize. It's the fight. It's the
Does Tank Davis get it done with Jake Paul? Jake Paul's a little bit bigger. There's
it's interesting, man. I don't think it's gonna be easy for none of them. I think it's gonna be interesting because Jake is a big dude and Jake is not a bum. Like right. Jake knows how to fight a little bit.
Right.
And Tank is a lot smaller. I think it's gonna be entertaining for sure. I'm definitely gonna be tuned in because I just want to see like the outcome for sure.
Damn, right. You have it, Kamaru. See?
Yeah, I've been saying that. I think, see, Danny, you can attest to this. I see when Jake came into the sport of boxing, it's just, of course, we say, oh, it's just a goofy YouTuber or a content creator coming into the actual combat sports. He came in with such hype and so many eyeballs to where at first it didn't look the greatest, but he's really proved it. The more people have doubted him, the more people have hated on him, the more people have said these things about him, the more it's fueled his fire to where he stayed in the gym enough to where you see Jake now running off combinations and he actually kind of looked like a boxer.
Yeah, he definitely stepped it up. I mean, everybody in the beginning was like, man, I've been doing this my whole life. Like, we can't let somebody come in here and just make all this money. And
right.
Everyone said that as a boxer. But as he kept doing it, like I kind of started to respect it because how many people could really like turn one fan base into another? You know what I mean? Like you could be a YouTuber and then you could try to be like a rapper and your fans don't go with you. Like his fans really followed him to the boxing world. Like you gotta respect. He got a loyal fan base because it's like if I try to drop a song, nobody gonna listen to it. You know what I mean?